Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, I get a lot of emails from guys who they're always asking, they're like, yo, I don't understand why these girls are so flaky. Or they'll, send me an email saying, hey, I met this girl at this bar. Everything seemed cool. We was like kissing and all of that. And, we exchanged numbers. But when I hit her up, she didn't respond to me. You understand? She didn't return my call or nothing. What's going on with that? Or I get some guys that'll say, I was with this chick. We was like, at a club or whatever. Everything was cool. And then I took her home. And then when I got back to my spot, she didn't want to do nothing. Like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on, right? So the thing is this, what you guys got to understand is that the reason why women will be, flaky or wishy-washy or all over the place is because women live in the moment. Okay? Women live in the moment. So what that means is that they go off of how they feel at any moment. And based off of how they feel, that's how they're going to respond. Right? So, one moment you're at the bar, kissing this girl, everything is good, she's feeling it and all that. And then, you exchange numbers and you try to call her the next day or text her the next day or whatever it is. And at that moment, she's not feeling the same way. She's not feeling those feelings anymore. You understand? Now, that could be for a number of different reasons. You understand? So let's say something could have happened to her that day when you texted her that had her in a whole like different mindset or whatever. Or sometimes, let's say, for example, a chick, you was kissing her at the bar or whatever, and then now she's feeling embarrassed because she's like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm such a slut and such a whore. So then you text her and then she doesn't return your text because she's embarrassed to, hit you up because she doesn't want to be seen as that type of chick. You understand? So based off of how she's feeling at that moment is how she's going to respond, how she's going to act. You understand? This is why sometimes, you can be dealing with a chick at a club and then you take her back to your spot, or even if, like, let's say you're on a date and you take a girl back to your place, everything seems cool while you're on the date or you're at the club, and then when you get back to the spot, she's on some different shit because now that she's entered your house, she may be feeling different. You understand? So the thing is that she's going to respond and react based off of how she feels, and how she feels can change at any moment, and however she's feeling in that moment is how she's going to be. Right? This is why, and see, this is important for you guys to understand, and because when you understand this, it makes a lot more sense when it comes to a lot of other things we talk about in the game, which is why we say, look, this shit is a numbers game. You gotta keep talking to different women. You understand? This is why you can't just stick to just one chick that you just met and thinking everything's going to flow, in that direction. Right? This is why I tell guys, when you set a date with a chick, to confirm the date. Because if you, tell a chick on Tuesday, hey, let's meet up Friday at the Main Street Bar, and she says, cool, I'll meet you there at the Main Street Bar on Friday. And if you just go to the bar, you understand, you end up noticing, oh shit, she didn't even show up. Why? Because when Friday came, she might have felt different, which is why you need to text her on Friday morning and say, hey, are we still on for 8 o'clock at the Main Street Bar? You see what I'm saying? So that she's like, okay, yeah, I'm still down, or no, I'm not. So you don't waste your time going there if she's not going to show up. You see what I mean? And so chicks, they won't even text you most of the time to tell you they're not going to show up. They're just not going to show up. And this is why you need to confirm, because you need to hit her up at that time. So at that moment, she's ready to make it happen. You understand? And now in those situations, since you confirmed, right? And she says yes, that means most likely she's going to come. Now, this whole thing about women living in the moment, it gets so crazy to the point where sometimes you could even confirm the date. So you can call her or text her on that Friday morning and say, hey, we still on for Friday night. She'll be like, yes. And then maybe an hour or two before you even supposed to meet the girl, she'll text you and be like, oh, hey, I don't think I can make it. It's ridiculous. Right. And so what you got to understand is that a lot of this is going to happen, you know, at the beginning of you interacting with these chicks. So this is why I say a lot of times that when you're dealing with women, when you first start like dealing with them and interacting with them, you know, this is the time when it's the easiest to lose them. And this is why you have to move fast when you're dealing with these chicks, because you want to keep that momentum up. See, the momentum, you know, it's the thing that, you know, makes the situation flow in that direction for things to actually happen, because that momentum keeps her in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it keeps her feeling that moment, right? To the extent where it carries over to when you're setting a date or you're supposed to see her and do all this other shit. Right? Now, see, this is the thing. Once you know, get a girl to get into the situation where she's starting to get attached to you, right? Then what happens is that this type of stuff, it doesn't happen as much. Like her flakiness or her being, you know, super wishy-washy isn't going to be as crazy, because now she's attached to you. So now you're in a different stage of the relationship, right? So at this point, she's been giving you like a high level of compliance and cooperation. And so now she's attached to you. But even then, she's still going to feel certain feelings, and it's going to dictate how she's going to sort of, you know, be in those moments. So let's say, for example, you've been seeing a girl for like, you know, 7 or 8 months, right? And you've been hitting it, and y'all been chilling, y'all been hanging out, doing all this other stuff, you know. She, you know, she likes you, whatever. So let's say you text her or call her, or let's say you just text her and you're like, yo, you know, let's hang out, you know, this weekend or whatever. Right. So most girls, if, you know, let's say if you just met the girl, she may not return your call, or, you know, she may ignore your text, whatever it is. But because you have a level of attachment with this woman where she's attached to you, whatever, even if she's feeling a certain type of way, because you have that attachment there, or she has an attachment to you, she may not necessarily text you right back, but you know, like immediately, but she may text you within the next hour, and, you know, like hit you up because you have that attachment there. So even though she may not feel like hitting you up, because she has that attachment there, she's going to do it because there's a level of respect at that point, because she still has that attachment there. She likes you. So she's going to still at least push through to make something happen. Or let's say if you say, hey, let's get together this weekend, you understand? She'll hit you back and say, oh, you know, I'm not really sure, but can we do maybe Monday because blah, 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 whatever. You understand? So there's more of her sort of, you know, giving you that energy of being responsive to you, because there is that attachment. But still, her fucking like emotions and how she's feeling in the moment, a lot of times still dictates how she's going to be. You see what I'm saying? So this is why sometimes even with the girls that you got that cool situation going with them and they like you, this is why sometimes when you can hang out with them and they'll just be in a fucking stink mood and you're like, what the fuck is wrong with this chick? You see what I'm saying? And it's because at that moment she's feeling that way and she's going to act out in that way. You see what I mean? And so you have to understand that when you're dealing with women, you have to understand that they basically live in that moment. They're going to do and act and react based off of how they are in those moments. You understand? And this is why sometimes you even have a girl who is your girlfriend or whatever end up cheating on you and shit, because at that moment she's been talking that some other guy got up in her ear, got her feeling those feelings, and then, you know, shit just popped off. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why I always laugh at guys who think that, oh, you know, my girl would never do that because I'm laying it down. I'm doing it. nigga, if this girl is in a situation, I don't care how much she love you, I don't care how much she care about you, if she's dealing with a motherfucker like me, or you know, dudes who you know, I don't do this anymore, but dude, like with the shit that I used to do, and dudes that have that same energy that I have as far as dealing with chicks, she's going to end up cheating on you. This is why, you know, the game is so important, because when you understand how to tap into women's emotions, what you're really doing is you're directing her emotions to feel something at that moment. So it's basically saying, I'm creating a situation for you to feel me at this moment. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what's happening, you know, around your situation or in your life or whatever, you get sucked into this moment. And then therefore you end up reacting to that moment. You see what I'm saying? And then so what happens is that when they get sucked into it, all that other shit outside doesn't necessarily matter. So she could have a man, boyfriend that she loves, but then a guy sucks her into the moment and she's lost in the moment. And then therefore she ends up doing the shit that you thought she would never do. It's kind of like let's say if you're watching a really good movie and you're so sucked into the what's going on, and you're so drawn into the storyline and what's happening and everything like that, you're not really thinking about anything else outside of that moment. You're so sucked into the situation, into the characters. This is why people, when they watch movies, some people will cry, some people will get like, you know, emotional about shit, because they're in that moment at that time. And then that makes them react a certain way. So the same thing happens for these women, is that they'll get around a dude who's on some player shit, right? And he gets her all riled up in that moment. She gets sucked into that moment, and therefore she ends up reacting and responding to that, even though she has a man. You see what I'm saying? So you got to understand that, you know, these women, they live in the moment. And you have to know that, and understanding that, it gives you sort of that edge to say, okay, now I understand what's going on. And now it gives me more insight to move in a different direction, or move in certain directions that I probably would have not understood before. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. Listen, if you guys have any questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below to send me a question. If you have a question on dating and relationships, I'll make a video about it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which teaches you 7 easy to follow tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And 3, I want you to click the link under that one to go to Bad Boy Membership, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month.
What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy to follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.